strap yourself in for Keeping It Real with Jack and Raoul.
Welcome back, keepers. Good to see you. Good to see you too.
Were you going to say this is Keeping It Real, Jack and Raoul?
Oh, yeah. This is Keeping It Real with Jack and Raoul.
You might notice we've got a different setup for those watching us. We're at Jack's farm, so we've got the lovely open fire going. We've got a new dog. Oh, I said the word dog and he lifted his head up. But, what are we talking about today?
We've got a great episode today. It's our 20th episode, by the way. So we're hurtling along and having a lot of fun. Today it's all about knowing your value.
Yeah, this is a good one. Hey, but before we get into that, someone has celebrated a wedding anniversary last week. Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. 28 years.
28 years. How many were good ones?
For him or for me?
Okay. Rich is actually listening as we're recording, so all 28 were
Love
blissful.
you, darling. It's been a great wedding anniversary.
And wasn't it also on the day of National Wine Day or
It
Appreciation?
It was, which Richard told me about.
How ironic is that?
Well, I think it's a sign. I think it was meant to be.
I heard a little story once about a married couple, two old married couples sitting on the porch drinking wine.
Oh, I'm liking it.
The wife says, "I love you so much. I could never have done this without you." And the husband turns around and go, "Is that you speaking or the wine speaking?" And she says, "It's me speaking to the wine."
I love it.
I reckon that reminds me of you and Rich.
I think you've nailed us. Hey, well, what an interesting coincidence. Knowing your value, wine, and we've got a new partner.
We have. We are so excited. I'm so excited to announce this.
So am I.
Yeah.
So
So
am
tell
I.
us,
All right.
Jack, what's happening?
So Wild Duck Creek Estate, a multi-generational family-owned vineyard in Heathcote, regional Victoria. They've been going for about 30 years. Liam Anderson is the winemaker. His father, David, or Duck Anderson, started the winery a long time ago, just with very little. And they have built this incredible brand. I have been a massive Wild Duck Creek. I know. I love the way you're nodding at me like, yeah, you love all wine. I do, but I love their brand. And anyone who knows me knows I buy a lot of it.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's the most beautiful, beautiful product.
Yeah. I remember drinking it years ago and it is a really, really good wine.
So to the Wild Duck Creek Estate team, thank you for backing us and getting behind us. And why is it important to have a partner?
Well, the reality is we cannot keep doing this if we haven't got support. And so what we loved about this partnership, and to us it is a partnership. We've had brands or companies
Reach
come
out.
to us for sponsorship, but we don't want to be having 10
not
sponsors. We're not, right?
But you're going to say, well,
but
we
we want it to be aligned to our brand.
Has to be
and when
real,
when
authentic.
Liam and the team at Wild Duck Creek Estate, they're a premium brand. They know their value, which ironically we're
But
talking
they're also
about
no
this.
bullshit.
No, they're no bullshit.
They don't do wine wank.
No, that's what Liam gave you. Is we don't do wine wank.
love
It was
it.
like so good. So you'll be hearing a bit about them as we talk about them. in each episode.
Indeed. And as a keeper, somebody who also supports us by listening in, giving us feedback, rating us 5 stars, sharing the podcast with your network, you're actually going to benefit from this partnership.
Yeah, more on that later. At the end, we're gonna
share a bit more about that. Stay with us.
Stay with us. There's a very, very special deal for our keepers.
Excellent.
So,
all right.
Value. Value. Know your value.
Know your value. Okay. What is it, Raoul? You've been demonstrating value to me for as long as I've known you, for 15 years. You're one of the very few people who are very confident and very, very clear on what your value is. How have you defined it? How do you know what your value is?
Yeah, it is hard to define. Like people go, well, what is your value? And to me, it's a combination of the skills you bring, the experience you have, and the reality, the experience you have, no one else has had.
True.
It's the style you bring to things. You and I were talking about this, and we, not that we're science nerds or maths people, but we came up with a bit of an equation.
I like a value equation.
It goes skills plus experience plus future contribution.
I love that.
Plus 10%.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
Say that again.
Or
Say the value
20%.
equation
So
again.
skills plus experience plus future contribution, and then just add on 10% to whatever that is.
I love that. So let's unpack that a little bit more. So you're saying you've obviously got skills, and those skills are unique to you.
Yep.
Those skills have certainly been honed based on your experience. And how is your experience different to skills?
Well, sometimes the skills we talk about, like the technical skills you have and the knowledge you have, but your experience is bringing in all aspects of your life and what you're taking from that and what you can share. Like it's literally sharing that with others. That's your value. I think, we often talk about the difference between men and women. It's been proof that women don't value themselves so much or undermine their value.
Way, way too humble. Women are... They exercise way too much humility.
Yeah.
Really.
Way too much humility.
Way too much. So you mentioned earlier when we were sort of thinking about the things that we would share today, ego, it's not a dirty word.
No, it's not a dirty word.
I love that. What is it?
Do you want to sing the song? No.
Ego? Oh, yeah, because I've become a bit of a singer now, haven't I?
You have. You sing, I'll tell jokes.
Oh, boy. Okay, now we need people listening. A healthy ego is a powerful and effective tool, right? It really does enable us to go in and bat for ourselves. So this is not about being over egotistical.
No, and it's not about being a wanker.
Or telling lies.
No.
It's actually just backing yourself and having confidence about your skills, your experience, your future contribution. Can we just go back to that? I don't think enough people, particularly women, consider what their future contribution will be when they go into a new role, or they, take on a startup, or they want to do a side hustle. They don't think about, well, hang on a minute. It's yes, you're getting me as I am today, but I've already got new ideas. I've already got lots and lots of other things I will bring to this that's going to enhance my value.
Yeah, often people sort of when I go in and pitch for work, they will say, you're really expensive. And when I coach people, they go, how do you charge what you do? How can you say it? And I seriously think if I go in and work for a team, and it could be with the senior leaders in an organisation, I am changing the way they communicate for the better for the rest of their career.
Wow.
The way they lead, which means every single person that works for them is going to have a better experience. Now, I know that. I actually know that because clients have told me that. It was like I so know that value and own it. And then you go, well, what's that worth? Like that, that
priceless.
That could be like I should be charging $1 million.
Exactly right.
I wouldn't get it, but
Well, not yet.
Well, not yet.
After keeping it real goes really global, you will. So your point here is that if you have an ego, which means it's healthy, that you absolutely know what you want and you know what value you bring, which you do, you've just defined it there, then actually how do you figure out how you price yourself, what you ask for? Is there a tip there?
Well, I think when you're running your own business and you're putting a price on a service, like first of all, it's a made up. Like what you what you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere, so it's made up. But I think when for people that are going into like a paid job and there's a salary, like there's normally a range, but you've sort of got to know. Well, this is what I am worth. That I think I'm worth. My advice is always start at the top because you can always come down.
Absolutely.
And what I find again we're saying what women do. I know a lot of my friends, they'll go for a job and I will say when you're going for the job, that's when you've got the power, like the true power of negotiation. And they'll go, oh, look, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to do my job and I'll work really hard and I will prove myself and then I'll ask for a pay rise.
No man ever says that.
Good luck with that strategy.
Absolutely. You need to start out how you intend to end.
Yeah.
So you're exactly right. This idea of being, watched and someone's going to, really notice how hard I've worked for so little, that needs to be debunked. That is absolutely a myth. A, no one has time to watch you. They're too busy watching themselves.
Yep.
B, they think we've got a great deal here and, she's working really, really hard for this amount of money, whereas Bob over in the corner keeps asking for more pay rises. He's good too, but he doesn't expect just to demonstrate how good he is and then wait for it. He's going to keep asking for it.
Yeah.
So while we're paying more to Bob, she's not saying much because she's waiting to be, discovered. I think we'll just keep things how they are. This is a problem. I was coaching somebody the other day and she said, I've become known as the admin girl amongst her peers. So she was picking up peers' admin work because she had capacity for 1 week because a program stopped and she had some time. So she said, I'll help out. Good team player. Very typical of women.
Yeah.
She starts picking up the admin. Do you think they ever went back to her and said, we'll take it back now? And I said to her, so what does that mean? What is the trade-off? She said, well, I'm not saying yes to other things because I'm too busy doing the admin. I said, so Bob over in the corner, who you're doing his admin for, even though you are equals, peers, same level, when it comes time for Bob to get his next role and he's talking about his skills, his strengths, his experience, and he's talking up all the things he's doing versus you, who do you think they're going to hire?
Yeah.
And I saw the light bulb go on and she said, oh, my goodness, I need to change that.
Yeah.
I said, you need to do a handover real fast.
That's going back to almost our episode, what you say no to.
Yeah.
So I was like, you could do it. Just because you could do it
Doesn't mean you should.
doesn't mean you should do it because
Exactly
it's that ties into your brand and it's like, what people are thinking about you.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
she's the admin girl.
that's
She
a
loves
great
the admin.
example. But I think it just comes down to like she clearly wasn't owning her value.
No, not at all.
Okay,
not at all.
where could I add value? Doing admin or doing strategic thinking?
Well, she was seeing value as being a great team collaborator, yeah? And again, the women doing all the caring and the sort of collaborating while the men are taking charge. And I know I'm speaking very generally. There's plenty of people that don't do that, and it's switched. But in this case, and in so many, when I'm talking and coaching women particularly, it is this inability to actually really be confident about their value.
Yeah.
So we've got to change that.
Yeah.
We really do. The other thing is we are constantly evolving. So you arrive at a role or you've got your promotion and you go, oh, this is so exciting. The little bit of imposter syndrome might kick in. The fact of the matter is you are a very different person today than you were 6 months ago, 12 months ago, 2 years, 5 years. And you will be different again in the future. Because if you are not constantly developing and evolving, then you need to ask yourself why you aren't.
So I would say that comes down to sometimes people just aren't constantly developing themselves.
Why
They're
not?
not putting them out there. Or the environment they're in. Perhaps their leader.
That's a big one. Bullshit leaders. I'm writing a book on this, yeah?
Tell us what you mean by bullshit
Well, a
leader.
bullshit leader is a leader that actually doesn't do their job as a leader. And what I mean by that is they are not coaching, lifting, developing, empowering and inspiring their staff. They're too worried about themselves. So their own agenda is getting in the way of what they're actually hired to do as a leader, which is lift others. Particularly a servant leader who says, I can see potential in Raal. I need to make sure that she's aware of that potential. I need to make sure she's developing that potential and that we are absolutely setting her up for success. If you have a leader that's not doing that, I encourage you to find a leader that will do that. That way you will really get access to your value.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've got a good leader or a good environment and you're taking control of developing yourself, this is all adding to your value, which means the value you had is more than the value you had 12 months ago.
Correct.
And it's constantly being aware of it. And so I think it's about knowing it. And I think that fundamentally people don't know what their value is. I had a mentor once who suggested that I create a legend file. And
not a genius file.
Well, I actually changed it to genius file. I actually named it genius file. And what he said was that every time you get some really good feedback, put it in this legend file.
Love it.
So literally, you could be working with a client or you could get some great feedback from your boss or a peer or a customer. Just keep adding to this legend file. Now, I think it does a couple of things. If you're ever just having a shitty day or feeling like crap or thinking, oh my God, what am I doing? Go back and read.
Have a look at the legend file.
Have a look at the legend file, the genius file. It's good reading.
Absolutely.
I bring it out every night and share it with the family.
Can I? God, your poor family.
But the other thing too is like you're going for a job or whatever. You always say, what's your strength? And you go, well, this is what people have said.
So I love that. But can I just take it one step back? Don't wait to be told. Go and ask people, what do you see me doing really well? What am I uniquely good at? What do I do that's really simple for me but you think is quite impressive? What's my bloody superpower?
Yeah.
Ask so that you can actually build on that file. That's a great one, the legend file. I love it.
But it took a little bit of practice to sort of go, oh, you got an email and copy and paste and put it in there. And even I was a little bit, this is a bit wanky, but it is amazing
How it pays off.
how it, and you just look, you look back sometimes and you go, yep, yes,
I love it. I love it. So I like to make a list of what I'm good at to remind myself. So I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to read you my list, okay?
All right.
I've got a very healthy ego.
You've come with a list.
I've come with a list. I'm very organised.
Okay, how long we got to
I'm
go,
very
Keehlan?
intelligent.
It's like how long?
I'm really good with words,
Jack's
both
list of
spoken and written. I'm a quick learner. I'm clearly very fucking patient. I think I'm hilarious, and I reckon I make a really good dinner party guest. Okay, so that's me. Now your turn.
That's good. I reckon I make a good dinner party guest.
As long as you're not talking over me.
No, not talking after you. I make a dinner party guest after I've had a couple of Wild Duck Creek Estate wines. So nice that little plug,
Hey,
like
nice
a subtle
plug.
plug. I think I'm really good at, so again, what people have told me, really good at making connections really fast. I can appeal to a whole range of people. I'm good at speaking. I'm good at training. I'm hilarious.
You are.
You're hilarious too. Was that on your list?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
Active listening. Oh, don't start me.
So yeah, it's knowing, but you don't want to think it's know it. And what's the point of like
Knowing it, not sharing it.
and not sharing it, and
Exactly
not
right.
saying it?
Not
It's like
saying it.
I'm actually pretty good at that. Because you know what we're always very good at? Saying I'm pretty crap at that.
Yeah, or when somebody pays us a compliment, that was somebody else. People often say to me, after coaching, oh, you articulated that really well. And I say, thank you.
Thank you. And you know what? Just say thank you.
Say thank you.
That's what you got to do is thank you. Or
That's all
thank
you
you.
need
That
to
means
do.
a lot. Can I tell you a story?
Of course you can. Waiting for it.
So a couple of years ago, the family gave me a spa treatment for I don't know, Mother's Day or birthday or something. So
Nice.
I'm going in to get this, massage and facial, and it was going to go for 2 hours. Now I know
Kill me now.
part of me was kill me now, right? But anyway,
Bless them.
2 hours, and I go in and I'm lying on the bloody bench with your head down in the hole, and they're speaking really softly. Yes. They sort of it was like you said, going what are you saying?
Poor old duck.
And so they wanted me to choose a scent that they would put in the oil for the massage, right?
nice.
Like, okay. So, but they gave me 4 to choose from. So I'm lying on the bench and she's going, now the first one, number 1 is called, I don't know, whatever she called it. And she waved it under my nose, right? And then breathe in, breathe out. Number 2, and I'm going, oh my God, there's
How long's
4
this
of them.
gonna take?
Right, this is going to take 15 minutes just to choose the
Yes.
goddamn. Number 2
meant to be
is blah,
relaxing.
blah, breathe in. Anyway, we got to the 4th one, and besides being bored, I'm thinking they all smell the same. And what scent would you like? And I go, let's go with number 1. And she went, okay, number 1 is called blah, blah. It is going to help you with self-belief and confidence.
So
and
don't need
I swear to God, I had to do everything in my control to not burst out laughing, thinking that is one thing I do not need more of, self-belief or confidence. And I also thought, I cannot wait to get home and tell the family.
Tell the girls.
And so I got home and I was telling the family, and straight away Alex goes, did they have a scent called humility?
You wouldn't have picked that one.
I probably should have picked that one.
That's so funny.
But
That's so
and
funny.
it is about, like, I share that because it's not about being a wanker.
No.
It's just going, if you know what you're good at, know what your
Absolutely.
value
Know your
is,
worth.
and own it.
And own it.
There's no point going, oh no, I know.
And everyone's good at stuff.
Yes.
Everyone is good at stuff. And you can keep getting better at stuff. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Your strengths and your rock star sort of, superpowers today can change. They can evolve. They can get better. You can become even, more successful and add greater value. Don't think this is it.
Yeah.
This is just now.
And if you don't know your value and if you don't own it, don't expect
Others
people
to know it.
To know it.
No, and talk about it.
Yeah, I do a lot of work with, like thought leaders or
Yeah.
experts and, putting their information out on LinkedIn or writing articles, and they'll sort of go, oh, but, I don't like, and they sort of start doubting themselves. And I just sort of say, once you realise that what you've got to share is of value, then it's not about self-promotion. It's actually about helping and serving other people. But you have to actually own that value first.
Yeah.
Before you then can confidently share it.
Share it. Hey, you were telling me a story just before when we were writing up our notes about a CEO of a not-for-profit, and I'd like you to share that story.
Yeah. So this is,
a good
a
one.
CEO of a social enterprise who's has got amazing insights on how to run social enterprises. So she's often been asked to come and speak.
She's a CEO. She's got experience. She's got skills.
I was with her just recently, and the phone call came in, and she said, "Oh, can I get your advice on what to charge?" Because they asked me what the fee was, and I said, "I'll get back to you on that." I went, "Okay. First of all, you got to know what your number is. Know
So straight
your
away, you're
number.
not confident, or you don't know
And,
what your value is.
And she was sort of tossing up a 1,500 maybe or whatever, and my advice to everyone is just double. Don't worry about this bloody 10% bullshit. Double it. No, but I said, look, you're the CEO with great insights that are going to help. We talk about the future contribution.
Correct.
Like, this is really valuable contribution, and you're the CEO, so you go and speak, and it might only be for half an hour, but that's half your day gone.
And can I say there's an expectation if you're bringing in somebody senior like that they will come at a certain price. If they don't, you'll start questioning, are they any good?
Exactly. So I said, look, I would go at least 2,500, but you could go more than that. And go, but what you've got to do is, as soon as they say, what's your fee? You say the fee is $2,500.
And say it confidently.
Say it confidently.
Because what's the worst that can happen in that situation?
The worst is they go, we don't have the budget for that. And then you go,
oh, what would
what's
your
your
budget? I mean, it's so obvious,
Yeah.
right? And now we can think about if there's a negotiation. But in some cases, there might not be a negotiation. You might say, well, no, I'm not going to go and speak for nothing because that's an opportunity cost. I could be speaking somewhere else and being paid instead.
Yeah, well, she could be doing her job as CEO.
Or
So
doing
you've got
her
to
job
think,
as a
and
CEO.
this money isn't going to her; it's going to the social enterprise
organisation.
So
that needs
it's
it.
it's understanding what, and your value is what people are prepared to pay for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that value equation. I'm going to say it again. Skills plus experience plus future contribution plus 10%, or in Rao's case, double it.
Alrighty. So, do you think we got some tips and techniques we can
We've
do?
always got tips and techniques, always. So first of all, you need to know your value. You actually need to know what your strengths are. What is your superpower? What are you really good at? And don't go, oh, but everyone's good at that. No, what are you good at?
Yeah.
Write that down.
Yeah.
Okay?
Legend file.
Legend
Genius
file.
Call it whatever you
Create it.
want.
I like that. Go and ask others.
Yeah.
What do they think of you?
And every time you get a little bit of feedback, add it to that legend file.
And if you're not getting feedback regularly, because some people don't ask for it, then ask for it so that you have it.
Yeah, because
Love
that becomes a really critical reminder of, like, perhaps when you are going for a new job or whatever, is to pull that out, and then this is what people have said. The last episode we did, it was on job interviews. So, by the way, we had so much positive feedback about that job interview one.
It's
Please,
been reshared,
if you haven't
and reposted,
listened to that,
and
go
listened
listen and
downloaded.
share it with people you know, because everyone's going for job interviews.
And if they're not today, they will be in the future.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Agree. Okay, so know your strengths, create your legend file, get the feedback, write it out so that you become really, really familiar with it, so that it becomes part of your vernacular. So when somebody says, oh, what we need is somebody who can be really, really good with project management, that just happens to be one of my key strengths.
Yeah.
That's something I've been doing for a long time. I'm really good at it. Yeah. So that's really important to write it out and to talk about it. And this last one is know your number.
Yeah. And that's sort of what we were speaking of before with the CEO, is know what your number is.
Yeah.
So if you're going for a job, go, this is the range, whatever, know it, own it. If you're running your own practice, whether it's an hourly rate or a daily rate or your contract, know what it is. And don't fall, don't fall into this trap of going, it was just an hour's work. It's just an hour's work. The story of the locksmith who, was this really unusual lock. So the person called a locksmith, and the locksmith came in and within 3 minutes
Open
the lock, and he sent a bill in for $5,000. And they're going, what? But you were only there for 5 minutes. How could you charge $5,000? He went, sorry, I'll send another invoice. And he sent it, he goes, $50 for my time, $4,950 to know how to do it.
Well done. So that's that meme you see going around. You know,
Yeah.
you're not paying me for the hour and a half or the 2 hours that I've spent with
No.
you. You're paying me for the 25 years worth of experience, skills, and learnings.
And future contribution.
And future
the difference you can
contribution.
make.
Exactly right.
So, yeah. So, absolutely. So, that's good. I think just know your value and
Come up
own
with
it.
your number. Be clear on what you're doing that is absolutely your strengths, and then
And
own it.
ego's not a dirty word.
It so isn't.
You know what is a dirty word? Cheap wine.
I don't know anyone around here who drinks cheap wine. Do you?
Life's too bloody short to drink.
Way too
crap
short.
wine.
Wild Duck Creek Estate. Thank you to the team who've partnering with us. We're really excited. Now, can I talk about the offer that
Yes.
Wild Duck Creek Estate are giving to just our keepers? Okay,
Just the keepers.
So, if you go into the Wild Duck Creek Estate website, it is absolutely beautiful. You will see up the top of their homepage 3 beautiful words. Those 3 words are,
Keeping it real.
and if you click on Keeping It Real and type in a special code,
Keepers, all lowercase, keepers.
do you think they'll remember that? Our keepers?
Show notes. We'll put it in the show notes.
There are 4 incredible offers, but it is only the keepers that get this, yeah? And, you know, we've got a white duck, we've got a yellow hammer hill, we've got a spring flat Shiraz, and there's a mixed 12-pack, which you and I have just bought.
Yeah, we have.
This wine is
should last the weekend.
sensational. We should be right by Sunday. And again, you are supporting and getting behind a multi-generational family vineyard right here in regional Victoria, and honestly, some of the best wine you will ever drink. So,
And you know their motto too, and I think it's our motto. We sort of joke about drinking wine, but we don't drink as much as we talk about it. But their motto
for yourself.
is, see, you're joking. You know, it's not about quantity. It's about quality.
Quality.
I don't know. As I get older,
yeah.
it was just like I just want to drink
life's
good
too short
quality wine.
to drink rubbish and to feel bad. We've got too much to do, right? We're
Way too much.
fairly busy people, so we drink great wine. Wild Duck Creek Estate. Thank you, Liam and the team. We love you.
We do. So that's been another episode of Keeping It Real with Jack and Raoul. We'll speak to you next time.
Bye.
You've been listening to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jack and Raoul. If you like what you've heard, don't forget to tell others about it and give a 5-star review. They may seem confident, but they really are sensitive 5-star needy souls. Yeah, right. Keeping It Real, created by Jack Phillips and Gabriel Dolan. Produced by Keehlan Ferrari-Brown. And this really real voiceover, spoken by Richard Phillips.